Jerry Jones said some things at that impromptu Senior Bowl meeting. And one of them was about Dan Quinn. And he spoke on being prideful in retaining guys like Dan Quinn, who tried to go get a job, Jason Garrett, who he saved from going to the Ravens, Sean Payton, I believe in 04, was either 04 or 05, I can't remember which one. I think it was 04. Was offered a position with the Raiders. He turned them down to come back for another year. He prides himself in that. Well, listen to what Jerry Jones had to say about those three guys, including one, Dan Quinn, in the first word. Check this out.
And by the way, I know because I've had, as I mentioned, I've had it happen 3 times. Now, 3 times. 3 times. It's quite similar circumstances. And he did stay here. He stays here because there's always and always has been, with every coach, the idea that of every one of those 3 coaches have said they'd love to be the head coach of the Cowboys.
What?
Yeah. Okay, everyone. And so my point is that that has, in my mind, that has a lot of logic as to why they might not take a job now rather than one or wait and see how the cards go in future. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, so do you view
it has to be. You couldn't do this if you weren't an attractive place to be a coach.
Right.
You couldn't get people to not take or to not do it if it weren't a very attractive place to coach.
Yeah. Do you consider
here? Not that he's said that he'll be here.
Let her ask the question, Jerry. Damn.
You couldn't do that, and that was the case with all 3 of the coaches that have turned down opportunities.
Do you consider Dan a potential future head coach of the Dallas Cowboys?
He's certainly qualified.
Ooh-wee.
He's very qualified. Yes, I would consider. If I didn't have a coach, I would have been interviewing him for coach.
Yeah.
Ooh-wee. What'd you say, Jerry? Hold on. What'd you say? Fresh Phase said, damn, basically told McCarthy to watch your back. Yo. Jerry. Run that back. Jerry, you can't do that, sir. you see, this is why no offense. He's 80 years old, but he's probably like 120 for real. They don't realize they just start blabbering. They say things. This is what Jerry Jones does. He gets on these radio stations. He starts to get the talking, and he starts saying things that could start to separate your locker room. I know it's January, or February, so maybe this won't have any merit later on down the line. But you can't say the guy on your staff, who was a head coach, by the way, who went to the Super Bowl, by the way, who is beloved by one side of the ball, by the way, you can't tell everybody that he said, 1, he would love to be a head coach in Dallas, which that's another situation. But 2, he is very qualified, and if I didn't have a head coach, I would consider him. Oh, my God. What are you doing, Jerry? Bro, you know you have a head coach, right, Jerry? If this isn't more evidence of Mike McCarthy being unsullied, for those who don't know what unsullied is, just Google it, Game of Thrones. Shout out to Game of Thrones. Then I don't know. I really, truly don't know how much more evidence you need, Cowboys Nation. Goodness gracious. That's Jerry for you, though.